You know how a kid learns to ride a bike? They wobble, crash, scrape their knees, maybe cry, but then, without even realizing it, they find balance. They don't think balance, they become balance. And later, they can't even remember how they learned. They just ride. And isn't it funny how that's exactly how you've been learning influence, rapport, hypnosis all along? Falling, testing, adjusting, riding. Now imagine jazz. A saxophonist doesn't sit mid-solo calculating frequencies. If they did, the music would die. No, they let go. They trust the muscle memory, the unconscious riffs, the trained intuition. That's not letting go of control. That's finding a higher form of control, flow. And that reminds me of a surfer, standing on the board, staring at the wave, hesitating. That's when they wipe out. But when they let their body tune to the water, they ride like they were born for it. And every time you flowed with conversation, or nailed timing, or felt psychic with someone's mood, you were already surfing. And isn't it curious how science sneaks in here? Neuroscience shows, in flow, the prefrontal cortex, it loosens its chokehold. The brain doubles pattern recognition. Decision-making accelerates. It's as if the brain itself is saying, stop strangling me with overthinking. Trust me. I know how to ride the wave. And I wonder if you noticed, sometimes confusion itself is the opening. Like when someone tells you a riddle and your conscious mind stutters, and in that gap you suddenly see the answer. That gap is where hypnosis lives. That gap is where change installs itself. So let me tell you a parable. A man spent his life collecting maps of rivers. He studied them endlessly, traced every bend with his finger, memorized their curves, but he never once stepped into the water. He died thirsty, surrounded by maps. And another man, he jumped in the river, swallowed half of it, nearly drowned, but eventually floated. He laughed, coughed, splashed, and drank his fill. Which man are you? And if you think about it, you've already done this. You already change your tone when speaking to a child. You already mirror a friend's sigh. You already feel the vibe shift in a room before a word is said. That's NLP, that's hypnosis, that's rapport, installed since birth. Now the only shift is to recognize, oh shit, I already do it. Now I can wield it. And here's the kicker. The karma of ignoring this, stagnation, burnout, living like the man with the maps, thinking, analysing, measuring, but never drinking. The karma of embracing this flow, laughter, timing, synchronicity, being the arrival that others come to, instead of the one forever chasing. So I tell you another story. There's a blacksmith hammering steel. Strike after strike, heating, cooling, repeating. If he overhammers, the blade shatters. If he underhammers, the blade stays dull. But when he trusts the rhythm, alternating heat with rest, strike with pause, the steel transforms into a sword. That's your brain. Repetition strengthens. Rest consolidates. Overchecking breaks the process. You're the blacksmith. Your intuition is the sword. And now, looping back, you realize you're the kid riding the bike. You're the jazz musician riffing. You're the surfer catching the wave. You're the blacksmith forging intuition into steel. You're not the map collector. You're the one drinking from the river. And every fear, fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of being wrong, is just hesitation. Hesitation is death. Action is life. Life rewards the leap. Life punishes the wait. So notice how this lands. You already know how to listen. You already know how to influence. You already know how to enter flow. Now you trust it, amplify it, play with it. Like jazz, like surfing, like blacksmithing, like riding a bike. Because you're not chasing arrival. You are the arrival.